Okay, it's turn 14, and finally, Big Bill has returned to us. He has risen from the dead in order to kill more heathens. Unfortunately, he did lose a level of nature, so he's now only nature 3, but that doesn't really disrupt anything. It does mean that it's less likely that I'm going to be able to get a hold of Mother Oak, which is a little upsetting, but although, to be fair, my nature income is high enough that if I wanted to put off developing troops, I could, in fact, literally re-empower Big Bill. And then I'd be able to do it a second time in relatively short order. That said, my total gem income is still 7. So, in 2 turns, I'll have Conjuration level 5. So, turn 16. I do also have an Earth Nature Mage now, Hercilia here, who can summon Boars of the Carnutes. That said, Big Bill still, having Big Bill around is still really useful for that purpose. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have him move over here and sight search, and then start summoning Great Boars of the Carnutes. I'm going to concentrate those Boars of the Carnutes in one place, basically so I can concentrate the free spawn, and then I'm going to start launching my free spawn in waves. Now we've got Sui Pig over here. Sui Pig does not need to be there. She can fall back and help with sight searching. I've also got Cersei, who is a nature 2, which is just grand. She'll be able to forge some stuff, like Rings of Regeneration and such, and she'll also be able to cast some slightly higher level spells. Could summon Leogryphs, but why though? I could summon Killer Mantises, but why though? I have access to Grow Fortress, I just don't have the nature gems to do that. Well, I mean, I do have the nature gems to do it. I would just rather spend them spamming Great Boars and getting my actual army production running. I've got 2 thrones available in fairly fair-reaching distance. 3 if you count that one, but I have to go through a Swanpire fort in order to accomplish that. I also have over here Gruglin's Drakon Mini Bondage. And Mini Bondage here is out of his dominion, so I don't get to see his bless. He's also cursed. He's Earth 4, Nature 5, so not a super impressive bless in any case. But he has been cursed, which is a very bad thing for a pretender god. He does, however, still have really high prot because of his earth magic, so he's not going to lose this fight. The Amazons are just not going to be able to deal enough damage, as you can see there. They only did about, like, 10 points of damage to him. Yeah, that's it. They're posed, pretty much. I do find it amusing that this priestess, was able to Tangle Vines him once, but he just broke out of it immediately. So, there's that. I also cured a mage of their disease by virtue of bringing in Jareth here. So, bully for me, good on me. I'm building this palisade the hard way because I don't want to spend gems on it. These duders are coming down south here to take out the barbs. Over here I've got more duders with Sui Pig. And I also have a scout who's just standing here. Now, I've been strongly tempted to build a fort in this province, because by building a fort in this province, I could increase the income, and the income of this province is pretty radical. That said, my nation doesn't really need a lot of forts. It's worthwhile having forts where I build temples and laboratories to protect the investment, but forests that don't have temples in them, I mean, like, the laboratory investment is actually very minor for me. It's 200 gold. So, like, I can take this place, build a lab on it, start recruiting mages. If I lose it, oh well, that happens. In terms of research, we're grabbing Thaumaturgy level 3 because I want Haruspex to ramp up my end gem income as fast as possible. And then we're going down Alteration. I need Alteration because my magic is basically Earth and Nature. Of the 2, Nature is obviously a lot more common. Alteration 4 for Swarm is going to be a very important, a key, in fact, combat technique. Alteration level 5 for Wooden Warriors would be great, and Alt 5 also gives me Maws of the Earth for when I start bringing out my capital onlys, which I will need to do. The farmers who can read here are gonna have to be my kind of ace in the hole. It's a pretty poor ace, it's more like a jack in the hole, but we're gonna do the best we can with them. I'm spending a couple more turns recruiting organic farmers here, but my research is quite high. My research is 230 on turn 14, so I'm doing real good on the research front. These gentlemen are not going to boost my research much once I start recruiting them, but I'm going to have another fort over here in Hexwoods pretty soon, and I may well spend the nature gems to throw up an instant fort sometime with Big Bill. But we'll see. Actually, Big Bill, shit, that's right. Big Bill can't cast Grow Fortress anymore. Fuck. Okay. That means I probably will have to empower him to get that back. Because he can't use, the only nature booster he can use is the Moonvine Bracelet, and I can't forge that. That said, Big Bill does also have a lot of blood, so I can potentially break into blood with him. That will definitely be something that comes later, but I can do things like Awaken Dark Vines, Rain of Toads, Purify Blood, which grants the entire army a bunch of poison resistance, is useful, and I do also have access to the crossbreeding spells. I forget where's the first level of crossbreeding? There it is, at level 3. All I have to do is empower some random nature mage in blood once, and then I can turn them to crossbreeding if I have some blood mages sitting around. Now, of course, these are my quote-unquote blood mages, and only 10% of them are going to be blood mages. They are also heretical, and they create unrest, so they're pretty much the worst imaginable blood hunters. But they're what I have to work with, and I don't think other nations barely have blood. Aku doesn't have blood. There's one other nation that has blood. Okay, so yeah, Rainbow of Hell has blood, and actually Rainbow of Hell has quite effective blood, because yeah, they're expensive and only blood 1, but Yogini are fantastic mages for this game, certainly. Also, we've got Warlock Apprentices in Nixtlan, so they have capital-only weak blood mages, and they should absolutely have been churning these guys out of their capital constantly. So, you know, they have that. So there's a couple other nations with access to blood, but my access to blood is competitive in this game, which is a weird thing to say, but true. I don't mind Heresy, to be honest. Heresy is containable, especially like in Hexwoods here, where I already have Magic 3 scales. Destroying my Dominion in this province wouldn't really bother me. Like, it wouldn't hurt me in any meaningful way. So, once I have my fort here, I can start recruiting Revelers in this province and just kind of stack them up. Now, obviously, since they cause unrest in a significant way, they're going to absolutely fucking tank the income of the province and eventually render me unable to recruit any troops from it. But I'm not recruiting any troops here anyway, and the income isn't all that much. So I can do that and then scatter them around, having them blood hunt using free spawn boars as patrol chaff, which is another strength of relying heavily on the free spawn troop strategy. Quote unquote strength. So I think that's my ultimate plan, but that's for like 2 years down the road is when that's going to start coming into effect. But right now, we're still just trying to get everything moving. So that's turn 14. I'll see you in turn 15. Alright folks, not a lot happening this turn, but it is still an exciting turn because we are 1 turn away from Conjuration 5 when the boars will begin. The Hour of Power. Big Bill is... I don't need Big Bill to move. Big Bill should just be here. I can't grow Fortress anymore, which is sad, but alas, that's where we're at. So Big Bill's just going to search for sites. And yeah, 254 research points per turn. That has grown. And 116 to Conjuration level 5. Excuse me, then we'll grab the Thaumaturgy, and then we'll start going down Alteration, as I said before. So that's about all that's happening. Now, we did get to see 2 gods. We'd already seen Gruglin's Drakon, and here he just wiped out some more indies. And then in Redbud Grove, we got to see Swanpire's Thrice-Horned Boar. So they're going the Big Pig route as well. They've got Schweinli, the Thrice-Horned Boar, who has a Regen Reinvigoration Bless, which is a choice, an interesting choice. I don't know, I have to double check what exactly Swanpire has by way of Sacreds. They attacked a bunch of barbarians. They did lose a number of their Bandar, because Bandar are pretty bad at fighting barbs, but their Big Pig just ran back there and trampled some fools, and it all worked out real well. So yeah, they lost 10 Bandar, one of their Burgmeister Guard. Swampire actually has pretty decent troops, to be totally honest. If we look at, not that one. We look at Swampire. Where is Swampire? There we go. Actually, hold up. Where did it even... Swampire. Those are mercenaries. Yes, those are the Bandar Band and Fort O'Boggets. That's right, because their only actual recruitable troop is Hatun Runa. Aha! I remember now. It's so hard sometimes to keep these guys straight. So yeah, in terms of sacred commanders, he's got Pontifexes. He's got Melissas, which are healers. He's got Inquisitors. He does have Area Seraphines. And Iras. He also has Keepers of Traditions, so this is what that bless is really for, because these guys are decent thugs, especially in the context of this shitty game, where everyone is terrible, and will suck. They're Tramplers, they Berserk, they're size 3, they have decent hit points, and recuperation. So with that regen, reinvigoration bless, and a little bit of equipment, these guys could do some work. Now, he doesn't really have a lot of, shall we say, magic, but, yeah, and he certainly doesn't have the magic to really forge stuff. He can forge nature stuff, and air stuff, and fire stuff, to a limited degree, but not very much. And he doesn't have any earth mages. He has 0 earth mages whatsoever, so he can't forge any of the good thug items, really. But he's got a big pig, and big pigs cover a multitude of sins. So, that's about all that's happening this turn, and we are just gonna... Is that a house? I didn't notice that tiny house before. Neat, there's a tiny house in my woods. I am preaching, I desperately need to build a temple in Wood of Many Paths to prevent myself from getting more diseases from, like, the evil domain of Plaguetopia. Because right now, I would bet, yeah, we've got a couple archers with diseases. That's fine, I'm just going to keep, actually, you know what? I'm going to cut out the archers so that one of these guys can build a temple. There we go. So we've got 2 guys preaching, 1 guy building a temple. That will increase our temple checks. We have a total of 7 right now. Domain spread 75%, so I could definitely use more. I may want to get up to 5 temples at some point. I'm going to build a temple and probably a temple and a lab in every forest, and then I'll start slapping down. I'm losing my mind. Start slapping down forts as well. Suey Pig here. I'm not sure where Suey Pig wants to go. Kind of tempted to invade Plaguetopia. But really, I don't want to invade anybody just yet. I want to get the free boar trainer rolling first, and then I can start getting some of my bros to lead them, and farmers' husbands to bless them. That's because the plan is eventually I'm going to need a lot of farmers' husbands, because that's the only way I can bless these guys, except having my priest, my prophet, or my god on the field, and Big Bill only counts in my own dominion. So it would have to be the prophet. But yeah, blessing them piecemeal with dozens and dozens of priests, I can do that since they are CP1 priests, so I can afford to expend some recruitment points churning out priests to bless my legions of pigs. And that will be kind of the next step. Like I said, it's turn 15, I already have 254 research points, I can afford to dedicate some of my CP to priests. In fact, we're going to swap back that way right now. And I could use mutton farmers to lead them. Or I could just use these guys, the smoking hot farmers. I think that would be better overall. So, that's turn 15. I'll see y'all in turn 16. Alright, folks, it's turn 16. I've actually just pulled into it, and this has been a great turn. We took this province down here with minimal losses, so we're just gonna put those up. And we found an Oak of Ages. An Oak of Ages is a fantastic magic site. 3 in per turn, plus an enchantment bonus of 40. You gotta love it. Gotta love it. And we have hit Conjuration level 5. So, we are about to set both of these ladies to summoning Boars of Carnoots forever. That's 14 N per turn, summoning Boars of Carnoots. I would prefer to actually, you know, make that sustainable, but I only have 10 N income still. But the cure for that is to hit Alteration level 5 and figure out some way to cast Mother Oak. Big Bill here should also actually be summoning Boars of Carnute, so he's gonna run back here and add his might to the summoning. Good old Suey Pig here wasn't moving last turn, so we're gonna move her up here. We have a temple, and we're going to preach with it, so that we can hopefully push back the Dominion of Plaguetopia here. I desperately need to push that back. And in support of that, these guys can actually move over here, because I am going to need a whole bunch of priests to lead my Piggly Wigglies. And in this forest, I think I will... Well, I kind of want to build a lab. But I want a fort there at the same time if I'm doing that, and I can't cast Grow Fortress anymore. Let's just recruit scouts there. We're gonna have to... We're gonna have to let it be. But yeah, my magic income now is up to 10N, which is nice. Big Bill should start going around site searching more thoroughly pretty soon. But definitely, like, burning through all these gems real quick, summoning Boars of Carnutes will be useful. Very, very useful. We also want to get a palisade over here, but it's going to cost us 900 gold, so that will take... next turn I might be able to do it. In any case, a short turn, but a good one. We did have another organic farmer cursed by a random event, but that's fine, I don't care. Hector is building the palisade over there. You can sneak over to there. Great. So, finally, things are about to start kicking off. Shit is about to get wacky. So, I will see you all in turn 17 for the slow beginning to the wackiness. Once we have the free spawn built up, we will attack. Take care till then. Okay, folks, turn 17, and the first of the Boars of Carnutes are out, or the first prize pigs. Prize winners in the National Pig Show, the most important event in Hydrangean culture, are treated with a reverence bordering on worship. The greatest pigs of all are reserved a special place in the hearts of farmers everywhere. So, these guys, they're size 6 tramplers, they're fortune tellers, they are Dominion monster summoners, which is their most important quality. So you can use them to trample large boys. If you need to trample big boys, these guys can do it. But mostly you don't want them to do that, because their main value is that they free spawn Piggly Wigglies. Now in my case they are size 4, normally they're size 3, but now they're size 4, so they can trample more shit. They are enlarged, and the rest of my bless, of course, I think we've talked about this before, poison resistance and blood vengeance. So, with that, with the poison resistance and the blood vengeance and the being huge, I can deploy these guys against anyone who fields things that are less than size 4 in mass quantities, and when they die, which they will do, when they die, they will force the enemy to make magic resistance rolls to avoid taking the same hit. Very, very useful. I can send them out in swarms. So, I am summoning 3 of them per turn. I've also just hit, in research, Thaumaturgy 3 and Alteration level 2. So, I am also casting Haruspecs now with 2 of my ladies. Actually, I'm going to cast Haruspecs with as many of my ladies as possible. Get it done as quickly as possible. And overall, I would say that I'm in pretty good shape. In terms of provinces, I haven't really checked lately. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 provinces exactly. South of me now we have Swanpire. Swanpire appears to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, possibly 11, maybe 12. I'm getting a scout down here to see what's what, but so far it looks like Swanpire is not very big. Now, Swanpire is, of course, led by Schweinli, who is another big pig. I don't have excellent counters to another big pig, but I feel like Schweinli might be able to attack Schweinli. If not Schweinley, then Plaguetopia. If not Plaguetopia, then Noose. I'm not sure I want to attack Noose. And not merely because I sort of feel a little bit of kindred for them. By the way, I built this palisade, and then I realized, only then, since I've never played Pangea before, actually, in a multiplayer game, only then did I recall that Pangea can't upgrade those palisades that they just build. You can only upgrade the ones that you summon via the spell. So definitely need more nature gem income. But casting Haruspecs for 4 turns like this should get me all the nature sites that there are in my territory. And hopefully that will kick my nature gem income up to like 14 or something. That would be ideal. In any case, I should, in that time, be able to build up like a bunch of these boys. Just a bunch of pigs. And they free spawn, like, so far I think it's between 1 and 4 of these, the prize pigs, per turn. I think I've seen 4 once. Normally it's either 1 or 2. But so if I have like 12 or 15 of them just sitting in my capital churning out the pegs, then, well, we'll be in a pretty good place for army recruitment. And of course, I won't stop there. Like, my nature gems are going to go into churning these guys out until I am shitting out an army every turn. Just of pigs. Castor, down here on the border. I'm thinking that the stinking varmints may be a way to deal with what the pigs can't. Because the pigs can trample anything that's size 3 or less. But there are things that are more than size 3, as we can see here. In Swanpire, we have Jotun Scouts. But no actual mages, but Jotun Scouts and then Hatun Runas and Mercenaries. So I'm thinking that if I send in a mix of those troops, led by my Prophet, I should be able to pretty much trample my way through. Like previously, the only problem is going to be the thrice-horned boar, because I think I'll have to go back and check what Bless Swanpire has. But with the thrice-horned boar, I think he was a, I think he had a regen Bless, so I think the, poison wouldn't do much to their pig, Schweinley. And I just don't have another counter for Schweinley. I don't have anything online that would kill him right now. One of the classic strategies here would be to mix into my army some mutton farmers wielding great swords of sharpness or something. Might do. We'll have to see about that, I think. But yeah, unfortunately this fort can't be upgraded apparently, so that's sad. Because I was hoping to get another recruitment point, but I'm gonna have to summon the forts to do that, and I can't do that because I can't do it. I have to empower first. I think that's gonna be worth it, to be honest. Empowering Big Bill back up to N4, but I'm gonna hold on to it for the moment because we are burning through our gems at a pretty fast clip. We're getting 21 gems spent there, and then we have 1, 2, 3 ladies casting Haruspec, so that's another 6. So we're spending 27 gems per turn, getting 10 per turn, net loss of 17 N per turn. So we can keep this up for like 4 turns, which is fine. That should be enough. And good old Sui Pig will head south. We've got some archers as well. I don't really want to be firing arrows into the back of my prize pigs because my archers will take a ton of damage from doing that, since they'll be hitting the pigs and taking damage from that. Over here, we are going to get a... I can't recruit a Leo because they are foreign. Gotcha. Okay, well, recruit a Leo then. And Castor here is a hero now, and he has extraordinary agility, so he's ambidextrous, and he has increased attack and defense. So I could potentially make him into a really shitty bargain thug. I'm not going to, though. It sounds cool, but I don't think it's going to work out. As soon as I hit alteration level 4, the end point of my strategy here will be in place. We have the hordes of boars trampling everything in front of them. We'll have bugs to muck people up, and then we'll have the poison bros. And bugs and the boars, once they're blessed, will be at least slightly resistant to poison. And then Alteration 5, of course, gives us Wooden Warriors and Mother Oak. At that point, I'll take a break to grab Construction 2 or 4, and we'll see how far we can get with that. I need you to recruit mages for a second. Actually, you recruit... No, you recruit them. You gather up over here. Okay, yeah, that's going to be the turn. I'm thinking that I might fight Swanpire. Like I said, it's either Swanpire or Plaguetopia. Haven't quite made up my mind yet, but we'll see what way we want to go. So, thanks for watching. I'll see y'all in turn 18.